All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is really just a set of numerous exercises that help simulate real life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. And every month we come out with a new set of exercises. They are broken down into 4 different categories, and within each category is a set of exercises for you to complete. So today we are going to be focusing on the cardio section for July. At the top here, we have a video that relates to, that talks about what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is a interactive quiz about what you just learned in that video. And then further down, we have all of the exercises within that section. So today we are going to be focusing on practicing paying a credit card. All right, we are going to be working in the sample company. That is where we always work. If you are not sure how to get into it or how to get your own free QBOA account, just click on the link in the description and you can go ahead and get started. So our scenario today is pretty simple. Craig has left you a credit card statement and has asked you to make a payment. So what are the steps do you think we need to take? Let's go through it together. Just a quick note that this exercise is not going to require you to download a statement. So the first thing we want to do is process the bank feeds. That just means that you are going to be comparing what went into and out of the bank and making sure that the record that we have in QBO is correct. So the first step here is that we're going to go to the left nav bar, click on banking, and then select banking. So here I am in the sample company. This is the dashboard. And over on the left nav bar, you see banking. Go ahead and click on banking, the second one. You will need to click on the MasterCard tile. If you are working on a smaller screen, just know that you may need to scroll to the right to see this. And that's also true for in real life. If you have a client that has multiple accounts, you may not be able to see them all on one screen, so you'll need to scroll to be able to see it. If you got this little pop-up, go ahead and click out of it. It's just if your first time is going into this banking section, this is likely to pop up for you. So here is the MasterCard tile. Here's that little arrow that I was talking about. If you click on it, it would scroll, but since all of our accounts are on one screen right here, or if you have a smaller screen, you may need to scroll. We're going to go ahead and click on this MasterCard tile. And now you are in the MasterCard account. So we're gonna go through them, but the first thing that you may notice is that there are 2 squeaky clean car wash transactions that are in QBO that are not going to match. So let's go ahead and look at that first. If you scroll down, you will see it says 2 matches found. There's 2 different ones. Go ahead and click on the first one. And you will see these 2 transactions are showing. You will notice here that there is the date here is 7/26. For you, it may be a little different depending on when you are watching this video. And here it says 7/26. So since these dates are the correct, are matching, we're going to go ahead and click match, the green button down here. And now that has matched. And you'll notice that the other squeaky clean one, the one that was showing here for me on the 7th or on the 19th, it has now matched with the other option that it was showing on that other squeaky clean car transaction. So now both of them have matched. And that's exactly what I was just saying here. So now we are going to click on the bottom 4 matched transactions and click accept. So that you will see all of these. You can click on each of these match buttons, but if you want to do it in bulk, you can just go ahead and click on each one and click on the accept on the black bar here. So go ahead and do that. And now you just have these 2 remaining. So you would need to, for these transactions, just check with Craig to see what they're all about. So you do, and he tells you that he returned some software that he bought on Amazon and that he ordered some business cards from Lee Advertising, which show up on the credit card bill as Laura's lamination. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the Amazon transaction. You're going to click onto it, and then in the vendor field, type Amazon. And that's just because it's currently not in the system. So you need to do the plus add Amazon. Keep in mind for the real life scenario, this is a return, which means that you would have had to have them in the system for the original purchase. But since it's the sample company and it doesn't have that, we're just going to need to add them as a vendor here. So go ahead and click into the Amazon. And then under the vendor customer field, go ahead and click on this and do the plus add new. And then we're going to fill it out. So we need to put Amazon as the display name and then select vendor before we save. So here on the contact type, it says customer. Go ahead and click into that and then click on vendor. And now for the vendor display name, go ahead and type in Amazon. And then you are going to hit the green save button. And now they have been saved as a vendor in your system. For the category, it is office expenses. So we're going to go ahead and put that. And then in the memo field, we're going to type software return. And that's because it's always good to just have a little memo or a little note about what an expense is for if you're going to have to make some edits to it. So we said the category is office expenses. I'm just going to go ahead and type in office. And there it populates, office expenses. And then for the memo, we are going to type in software return. Oops, return. There we go. And then go ahead and click the green add button. Okay, and that one has been moved to the bank register, so we are good there. It's just the last transaction. And that one is the Laura's lamination. So in the vendor customer field, we're going to select Lee Advertising because that's what we said the Craig had said it was from. And then in the category field, it's advertising. And then we're going to copy the bank detail and paste it into the memo field. Just keep in mind that sometimes in real life, the bank detail may already appear in the memo field. Since it's not doing it here, we're going to go ahead and do that. So click into it, Laura's lamination. For the vendor customer, go ahead and start typing in Lee Advertising. And we said that this expense was advertising. So go ahead and start typing that. You will see it appear. And then you're just going to highlight over Laura's lamination business card, do a copy, a control copy. I have a PC, so that's what it is for me. And then just paste it here in the memo. And then you can go ahead and click the green add button. All right, and that has been moved over to the bank register as well. So now that they have all been confirmed or moved to the bank register, before paying the bill, we actually want to reconcile the account, just like you would with a regular book account. So to do that, you're going to go to the bank register, which is this blue button here. Go to bank register, go ahead and click on that. You may get a couple of these pop-ups that show up. Just go ahead and click out of them. They're just giving you a little bit of extra information. And then we're going to click on the green reconcile button. So that is up here on the top right corner. Go ahead and click on that. And you will see this appear if it is your first time reconciling. It's just giving you kind of an overview, a little more information to get you started with it. After the first time that you have done reconciling for an account, it is not going to show up anymore. But since it's the sample company, this is our first time reconciling, it's here for us. Go ahead and click on the Get Started, the green Get Started button. And again, another pop-up for you showing the first time, go ahead and click on the green Let's Get Reconciled button. Okay, and this is what I just mentioned in step 3 and 4. So now we are on step 5. The ending balance that we need to fill out is $217.73. So here, first of all, you see that the account here is MasterCard. Confirm that. You know you're in the right one. And then the ending balance is $217.73. And then the ending date will actually show up on the credit card statement. But for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to enter today's date. So whatever day you are watching this, go ahead and enter that date. And then you're going to click on the green Start Reconciling button. And here is what it is pulling up. So we're going to just take a pause for a second, just so we can talk a little bit about more of what you will see on that screen. The screenshots here, I'm going to use these to use as an example, but just keep in mind that these numbers may not reflect what's going on in this particular exercise, which they're not, because they're totally different. But let's go ahead and see what each area is. So first here is this beginning balance. It is the ending balance from the last time that you reconciled. It cannot be changed. It is how it is. The statement ending balance, however, is from the bank statement that you previously entered on the previous screen. So that $217.73 is what that statement ending balance is. Now, if for whatever reason that you enter the wrong amount or the wrong ending date, you can go ahead and click on this edit info button right here, which is great. Next, we're going to talk about the transactions. Each transaction you will see has a little button next to it, a little circle. When you click on that, that means that you have cleared the transaction and a little blue check mark will appear. And then once you check that transaction, the amount here is going to be moved up to this line right here. So depending on whether this is a payment or a deposit, it will go in the corresponding spot. And then we have our cleared balance here, which is this equation, the beginning balance minus the sum of these two things would go right here. And then the difference is the statement ending balance minus the cleared balance equals the difference. The goal here when reconciling is to check off all the transactions until the difference is 0. Getting that 0 is super, super exciting. And then one last thing to just keep in mind here, this statement ending balance, this is just showing you all the transactions within that statement ending date that you had put on the previous screen. You can always turn it off by this little X right here. And that's because if you are looking at your statement and you are not finding a certain transaction, it may have been added incorrectly in QBO with the wrong date. So if you, it's known as like a hidden or rogue transaction. If you click on that X, it'll show more of the transactions in there. So just something to keep in mind as you do this in real life. So in the remaining steps of this exercise, we're going to complete the reconciliation by checking each transaction until the difference is 0. You may get some pop-ups before you proceed. That's what this one is here. So let's go back to this page. Go ahead and click on the X for any time you see a pop-up. They're just giving you more information if you've never done this before. So that's why they are appearing. For the purposes of this exercise, we are going to select all and just go ahead and reconcile them. Not recommended in real life. You would really want to go through every single transaction to make sure that it is recorded correctly in QBO. But like I said, for the purposes of today, for quickness, we're just going to go ahead and confirm all of them. So you're going to click on the circle at the top column next to payment, and then select yes, and then yes, select all. And basically what's happening is that this is saying like, are you really sure you want to just go ahead and select all of them? You don't want to go through it. In real life, yes, go through every single one. It's super important to do that. But for today, for this exercise, go ahead and just select them all. So select yes, select all. And you will see here that this difference has now gone to 0. So you know that you have completed your reconciliation correctly and that everything is matching up properly. So then after that, you're just going to click on the green Finish Now button, which is up here. Go ahead and click on that. And this appears, it says you have reconciled the account, which is great. Keep in mind that for real life, when you're doing this for a client, there will be a little button here that says statement, and that is attach statement. And that is just saying that you can attach the actual statement for the account that you just reconciled. Highly recommend it, whether it's the bank statement or the credit card statement. It just allows you to have that paper trail, another piece of a piece of it that you can refer to easily with reconciling. So just know they don't do that for the sample company, but in real life, there is a button there that will show. Additionally, with that, you'll note that there is a pay all or a portion of the bill now, and then enter a bill to pay later. This one, if you click on it, a check transaction is going to appear, but we're not going to do that today. You also don't want to pay this bill later. So let's go ahead and just click the green Done button. And now we are going to actually pay the credit card. Now that the bank feeds have been processed and the account has been reconciled, it's time to make the payment. There are many ways to do this, including going to the credit card company's website or pulling up the payment, or going to Craig's Bank and pushing the payment to the credit card. You cannot use Melio, which is QBO's built-in bill pay feature, to do this. You will need to check with Craig on how best to make the payment. So once you have done so, then you can record it in QBO. Paying down a credit card is really just a simple matter of transferring money from one account to another. So to do this, you could just use a transfer transaction, but QBO also provides a pay down credit card transaction, which is what we are going to be doing for this exercise. So go ahead and click on this step 1. The first thing you want to do is click plus new and select pay down credit card. So here we are, the plus new button in the left nav bar. If you go under other, you will see pay down credit card. Click on that. And then we will need to complete it. So the first thing is you need to put MasterCard, for which credit card are you paying. So click into here and you will see MasterCard. This payee, you can go, it's optional, so you can just leave it blank for right now. Then we need to add the amount, which is $217.73, right here, $217.73. The date of the payment would be today, and it'll default for today, the day you're making that payment. And then you will want to put what did you use to make this payment. We're going to select checking. So go ahead and start typing checking and it'll appear for you. If you make this payment with a check, then you want to go ahead and just click that as well. And if there's any kind of memo or attachments you want to add, you can always do that here as well. And then you can go ahead and click on the green Save and Close button. And now you have successfully recorded the payment for a credit card, and that is the whole process from beginning to end on how you would do that. And if you have any questions about the QBO Gym, just click on the link below in the description, and be sure to move on to our next exercise in the cardio section for July, which is all about handling a bounced check. And I will see you in that next video.